and welcome back to Richoux on Demand. I know it's been forever.
Yep.
Sorry. So I'm filming on my phone. And we owe you guys a lot of updates. Life has been lifing for the last 6 months or so, and we want to tell y'all about it. But first, we gotta go over to the barn and get the saw, load it onto the truck, and drive it over to the other side of the property. Yes, we have another property, and it is not the one that we showed you guys before. We had some challenges with that, to say the least. We still own the property. However, we did not build our dream home on it. Yes, we did finish designing it. Yes, we did finish pretty much with the architect and everything. But as you know, some of the struggles we were having is the same struggles other people were having, which is contractor issues. We couldn't get a general contractor to finish a bid for us at all, and the bank we were going to go through wouldn't allow us to GC it ourselves. And even if we were trying to go that avenue, we were going to build a pole barn house, which we still may do, just because I like the look of them. I don't think they're necessarily less expensive than a traditional build home, but they do give you some features that I really love, like the wide open spaces and things like that, pretty easily. So we couldn't even get our pole barn builder to finish our quote. Like, it was just a mess. So we were renting when you guys last saw us at my mom's. I'm helping her in her rental, and we were running out of time at that property. Hope y'all can see me. I'm sorry, I'm filming on my phone. I don't have a gimbal or a tripod or anything. I'm kind of just holding it, so I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh, we were renting at my mom's, and we were running out of time at that rental, and this home came available at like the 9th hour, and we came and saw it and fell in love. It's an 80-plus-year-old farmhouse, complete with a red barn. And it's really picturesque and really interesting how it all came about. But now we need to get in the truck and drive over to the other side of the property so I can talk to you guys some more and show you what we've been working on. All right, guys.
Hey, guys.
So let's answer some questions you guys may have. It's been about 6 months since we filmed a video.
Yep.
And we're back. I'm going to try my hardest to upload on a regular schedule. I don't know if that means I need to film 4 or 5 videos on the weekend and get them ready and scheduled to upload during the week. I'm not sure. It's just so hard to film and work outside of the home and try to set up the infrastructure you need for a homestead and raise children and all the normal things that everybody has to do. It's very, very difficult. It's completely, like, if you listen to anybody say that being on YouTube is like a full-time job, it is. And if you work a strenuous outside of the home full-time job like I do, it's like having 3 full-time jobs. So what I'm going to do now, I don't know if you guys are going to notice by this video, my hair's doing crazy stuff because we've been working outside the last couple days, but I'm going to do less editing. I don't normally have an issue filming, but what happens is the film goes to my camera, goes to my phone to die, pretty much. I just don't have the time to sit down and dedicate hours to filming a video and search engine optimizing it and thumbnailing it, and I just don't. So these videos are going to be a lot more candid, a lot more, hey, you came over to a friend's house and this is what it looks like without all the fluff. And I think that's more my style anyway. So we're going to try that for a little bit.
Yep, we're going to try that. See how that works. See how y'all like it.
Yeah, see how y'all like it. So if you're new here and you're just finding my channel and you have no idea what's going on, You look back, my last video was uploaded about 6 months ago. So, and all of those are great videos. I've filmed pretty much since our first home in Harvey to the rental to now this video. So, go ahead, look back, binge, and, you know, catch up, get to know us.
We're going to be on this property a while, y'all. We have a lot of plans for it that we're working on now. Right? Got a big garden back here, which I'm sure y'all seen the video in a minute. And what you call it? High tunnel?
Yeah.
Hoop house high tunnel?
Yeah.
You know how it goes, people. So, we'll get to it now.
Yeah, we have pretty much hit the ground running on this property. That's another thing that's been keeping a bunch of our time. The home, it sits on about 2.5 acres, so about 1 acre less than the property we had bought over at the other place. But it's vastly bigger than our house in the city of New Orleans. And the house is just so picturesque and it's so perfect for our family. But even though there was a lot of land, there is no infrastructure for animals. There was no garden. There's none of that. So we still need to trench and run water because right now we're running water hoses everywhere from the house. And
extension cords.
That gets really tedious and sometimes dangerous. And frustrating. So, yeah, we still have a bunch to do. However, one of the first things that we did when we got here is we did some things inside the home, like paint the cabinets. We got the trim painted, things like that.
New
countertops, things like that. And then we started outside with the garden space. And the garden space has been a labor of love. It's the biggest garden space we have put in at one time on our own.
Yeah, that's right.
And while it's not big compared to some people's gardens, that I can only aspire in my wildest dreams to have that type of gardening space. If you are on my Instagram, you'll see the garden seeds, and I just dream of one day. But this space is massive compared to our last garden. It's massive compared to the garden we put in the backyard of the rental, and it's a lot of work to put in at one time. So, but we're trying to hurry and bust it out kind of thing. We are also installing a hoop house to grow in. This property is heavy clay soil, which is typical for southern Mississippi. It's typical for southern coastal areas in general. So we're using raised beds, and in the hoop house, this will be the first place where we're going to try to garden in ground. We have some neighbors who garden in ground, so we know it can be done. So we're going to utilize our chickens and our girls to come and fertilize it and turn it over and throw a bunch of wood chips in there and try to get some organic material.
Get rid of that grass.
Try to get some organic material in the areas where we want to plant things. Eventually, we're going to be running, infrastructure. I'm sitting here looking at the back of our property. That's why I'm probably looking over your head. But we're going to be running infrastructure toward the back of the property to put in
animals, water,
animal pens and animal paddocks for
water, electricity,
for pigs, sheep, and goats eventually, for sure. So yeah, that's what's going on now.
But we did all that plus and then Christmas and all hit.
Yep.
Right now it's a week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
A little warm weather after that cold snap.
Yes.
Oh, and it was cold down here.
Yeah.
Very unusually cold for the South.
Yes. It was a learning curve.
We made it through.
Yeah.
No problems, no issues, no water issues, no nothing.
Great.
So that turned out to be great. Now the weather is projected to be 70 something today.
Degrees between today and tomorrow.
Crazy,
75 degrees by the end of the week.
Then it's supposed to be raining all weekend for New Year's, so that's gonna be nasty. Guess no fireworks this year.
Yeah.
We'll see. We might get some.
Yeah.
All right, ready to get started? Because it's daylight's burning.
We can't get started without answering the questions that we've had. So I've had some questions in some comments. Keith is ready to jump out and get to work. And we really do need to jump out and get to work. And y'all will see more of that in the next video. But to answer the questions that I've been getting, is where have we been? We have been adjusting to our new lives as, you know, the parents of 4 children and the caregiver of my mother, for now. We have been trying to figure out our living situation. Essentially what happened was, with us having so many issues with contractors and things to build our home, we decided we were going to put a manufactured home on the property. And
oops, sorry folks, didn't mean for that to happen.
They're not gonna see that. They might see it because I might not edit. Y'all told y'all I'm not editing.
Y'all might see that.
Stop touching. So, anyway, with us having so many issues, we decided we we're going to put a manufactured home on for the time being. And in the process of doing that, I had done my due diligence, you guys, but there was like an old, buried deep down in the archives, old covenant that came up that said we could not put a mobile home on the property. So we were just stuck. And we'd gone through the whole process of getting the mobile home. I mean, we were a week or 2 out from delivery. So that kind of put us at a standstill because we couldn't build a home in the time. Even if we had our bids and stuff, we couldn't build a home in the time we needed to. We couldn't do anything with that property in the time that we needed to. So we switched gears and we said we need to at least find a home to live in. And this one popped up and it had land attached to it. When I was looking for houses, I was just looking for houses that was big enough for our family.
For 7.
That was in our budget. So this house popped up. It had 2.5 acres attached to it. And we do have neighbors. I can see our neighbor's home. Let me see. Our neighbor's home right out of our window over there.
Over that way and on the other side.
And on the other side. Oops.
Really can't see that way.
Can't really see that. There's, but
they're over there behind the barn.
But we have neighbors, and it's not ideal for what we would like to do long term. But this has given us a lot of breathing space to really sit down and evaluate what we want to do. One thing that we did when we found the previous property was owner financing and things like that. And now, you know, God is so infinite in his wisdom. You know, when I adjusted the YouTube channel, I called us the city steaders. We were building a homestead in the city. And this house is still technically in a city or town or what have you. However, it's a lot more lax regulations here. It's a lot more space here. And having something going on, whether it's a garden or animals or something going on, is very common. If you drive down our street, almost everyone has a chicken coop in the back of their yard. Almost everyone has some type of gardening going on. We have some neighbors down the street that have sheep and horses and chickens and land and hay fields. So it's eye-opening for us, especially considering you kind of only hear one thing. You're either urban homesteading, which is in the city, and you have a 1/4 of an acre lot, which is where we started.
Yeah.
Or you have this massive amount of land and you can just do whatever you want. And my dream, obviously, is to be in that part of the population that has, you know, 20 plus acres with a pond, and I can, you know, farm and garden to my heart's content. But this is another form of a classroom for me. I feel like I learned a lot when we were in the city on our 1/4 of an acre lot, or less than 1/4 of an acre lot. And we were blessed to move up to this lot, which is 2.5 acres. And I think there's a bunch of things to learn.
Which we'll learn more on
this property. So,
which we'll adjust over to our new property whenever we get there.
Correct.
It's just going to be a learning. Even every property we go on is going to be a learning curve.
Yes. Moving here has been interesting, but I think it just gave us some breathing room to really take time and find what we're looking for long term. So we're here for the foreseeable future. 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year. But yeah, it's great. We love it here. I'm gonna jump out of the car and show you guys what we've been working on, and then we'll close the video. I think that's pretty much most of the questions have been centered around where have we been, and that's pretty much the answer. We've been trying to figure out living situation, trying to adjust to our new responsibilities and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just life
a
things.
whole new learning curve, because we're actually in a totally different state from where we were. We're still close to New Orleans, but in a different state. I didn't know about the questions.
Oh,
I guess you've been looking at all that.
Yeah. I've been seeing them, and we're fine, you guys. We're still together. Our family is happy and healthy. We're all great. We've just been adjusting, and that happens sometimes. I am going to try to be more diligent with YouTube to keep you guys up to date. Keith has been on me about YouTube. It's just a lot of work, and Keith doesn't help me film.
Guess I had to start helping. Maybe edit. I'll figure out how to do it.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys.
My edit. So if I edit some stuff and it's not great, it's my fault.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, y'all. So, we're still going to be doing our thing. We're going to be gardening. We're going to have animals. We're going to be cooking. We're going to be preserving. I'm going to do a pantry tour for you guys because we just built shelves in our new pantry area, and they are gorgeous. We love them so much. We actually was inspired by both Jess over at Roots of Refuge and Dom at Faith Family Homestead. I'd seen Jess's in her previous home, and I always wondered where she got the piping from, and Dom did something similar to what we have, and she linked the piping, so we were able to go ahead and get that project knocked out right before Christmas, which, you know, we're gluttons for punishment like that.
Like 3 days.
So yeah, let me hop out and show you guys around, and then we'll end this video.
Yeah, I gotta go run and get some wood, y'all.
All right, guys, so this is our backyard. That is our neighbor's home right there. So we definitely have neighbors, but as you can see behind me, behind Keith's truck, I hope y'all can see all of that back there. That's all our land. It actually goes back there, across the ditch, and back some more. We're gonna get a surveyor to come out and survey, especially with us having animals back there eventually. We're gonna have to put a perimeter fencing in. I don't love perimeter fencing. I feel like it feels very restrictive to me. But when you have neighbors and you're gonna have animals and things like that, especially if you are in an urban setting or a suburban setting, good fences make great neighbors, you know. Anyway, so that is back there. Not much going on, but if you turn this way, that's our home. It's covered by the magnolia tree, and I'm gonna flip the camera around so y'all can see. All right, so I'm standing in the back of our property from the vantage point I just showed you guys. So I'm still standing right by Keith's truck. This is the hoop house that we are in the process of building. It is going to be 25 feet long by 10 feet wide. And we're gonna let the girls come in here and forage and things like that. Before we plant this spring, we're going to be planting directly in the ground in here, pretty much some tomatoes and peppers and things like that. This ground is very clay-like. It has crawfish holes everywhere. These are crawfish holes I've stepped on, but if you look here, those are crawfish holes. That usually indicates that it's very clay-like. It holds water, like in this area here, so not that far. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to dig a trench to connect it to that drain, that ditch that's all the way back there, in order to rectify that. This is my new garden space. It is about 48 feet by 50 feet if Keith and I measured it correctly. Keith and I dug and put all of these posts in. The corner posts are cemented in, the other posts are just in using this clay soil here. Look at that. That's clay soil here. And we have our wiring back there that we're gonna put on here as our fence. So if I walk into the garden, I am walking through the side. So we have 10 of these 8x4 raised beds. We have 4 16-foot beds that'll go in on the other side. Let's walk over here. So 16 by 4-foot beds. There'll be 4 of them total on this side. And then we're gonna stick in-ground beds along the back, in-ground bed along this side. And that's pretty much the garden space. Our barn is right over there, backs up to our other neighbor's house, which is right there. Those are our girls right now. And that's the back of the house. And that's the street. That's pretty much what we have going on. That's pretty much where we've been. This little structure here will be my greenhouse for seed starting and things pretty soon. So we've been really busy since we've moved in. But our goal is to spend time getting a bunch of the infrastructure in. Oh, my onions look so sad from the freeze, y'all. My onions. But our goal is to spend some time getting the infrastructure in. And we're trying to do as much of it now while we can, while it's cool. Because if you've lived in the South at all or visited, it's excruciatingly hot during the summer. So our goal is to try to get as much of this stuff done before it's that hot as we can. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Just giving y'all a quick life update, telling y'all I'm back. And yeah, so we're going to get going and get started on finishing up this hoop house and maybe even putting some of this fence on. Thanks so much for being with me, you guys. Until next time.